Hi, and welcome to my 1kc TOB guide. I'm going to try and make this short and sweet because no one wants to watch a 2-hour long video about something they don't know how to do. To start off with, for the stat recommendations, I'd say 90 melee stats, 94 magic, 90 range, 70 prayer, or whatever your team will take you with. This is the gear I would take. There are obvious up and down grades in the bottom left hand corner, and the only thing I've really missed off there is Venges or Freezes, but your team will let you know what spellbook they want you to be on. Right, before you go into TOB, we're going to pre-pot, so you're going to drink Divine Range, normal Super Combat, eat Crambuan, get back to full HP, pops you Imbued Heart. You don't have to have an Imbued Heart, but if you have one you might as well use it. And then take out 3 Manta Rays and 2 Restores. Right, we're going to run over to the board. This is where you apply. You don't have to be in a clan chat like Chambers. You're just going to want to refresh the board and then apply to your teammate's name. Once you've done this, you can run over to the entrance and go in. When you go in, you're going to want to drop your salve and your range pot. This just provides you space to put on your blowpipe, and they're cheap, so if you wipe, it doesn't matter. When we go into Maiden, the first thing we're going to do is put on Piety and Protect Magic. These should be on the quick prayers for TOB. Put 2 hammer specs in, then put your blowpipe and range gear on to start blowpiping the boss. There are 3 main mechanics here. The blood that she throws out, avoid that, don't stand in that, that will create blood spawns, and they make more blood, and blood is bad. The crabs that come out at 70, 50 and 30%, you'll see here Barno freezes them, and you just blowpipe them down, make sure they're dead, because they will heal the boss if they get to her, and make her more powerful, and that's bad. You don't want to stand in the blood like I did here. You see, you have plenty of time to move, and a little blood spawn will appear now. Your team will either freeze these and kill them, or just kill the boss before they become too much of an issue. So at 50%, the next set of red crabs are going to come out. Exactly the same again. Just kill those. Kill the north 1 and the north 2. Only 1 has spawned there, so I'm just going to kill the north 1. Don't stand in the blood again. Here I've done a perfect example of misclicking. Make sure you actually click on the blood, because you can misclick through it easily and then hurt yourself by standing on the blood, which will also create more blood, which is bad. So yeah, just blowpipe back on the boss until we get to 30s. Then more red crabs are going to come out. Barno's my north freezer, so he's going to freeze those, and and I'm going to kill them. Avoid the blood. Shoot the red crabs. Nice and simple. And then just back on the boss. That's it, Maiden. Nice and easy. Now just run to the end of the room, grab your stuff, and get ready to go on to bloat. Once Maiden's over, we're going to go into bloat. This is what the salve amulet is for. Bloat's one of the most basic bosses, the easiest to do, but also the easiest to die in, because you can die very, very quickly. It's also one of the most dangerous places for you to your team, so just play it safe at bloat. You don't need to worry about getting as much damage in as possible. Just make sure you don't kill your team. So we can repot back up, drop to ranging pot so I have space to put my Halley on for the last hit, and now we're just going to wait for bloat to go down. When bloat goes down, he stops moving. We can get 3 to 4 hits in. On your first KC, I'd recommend just getting 3 in. So he stops. We're going to go in through the room, Piety and Protect Range on, attack 4 times. You want to run to the spot where everyone else is standing on. Step back after your 4th hit, put a Crystal Halberd in and run around the corner. Avoid the dark circles on the floor. They are feet. If you stand there, you'll get hit for about 40 damage, and you won't be able to move, which means bloke will catch up to you, fly you and your team, and it's generally just not a good time. You can click one tile in front of you to walk and more tiles to run. If there's a foot right in front of you, you can click the tile past it like I do there, and you will teleport over it, the same you will do with the poison at chambers. So we're going to do just 3 nice whip hits, and then put a crystal halberd spec in, run around the corner, and then put your whip and that back on. See, Barno gets caught by a foot there, so he gets stunned and hit for a lot of damage. Bloke can turn around, so be aware of this. It's really nice to have him highlighted so that you can easily see when he's on the other side of the room without looking at him. It's going to go down here, so we just piety back on. Whip him again. Should have gone straight in with a halberd spec there, but there we go. Room done. Nice and easy. Once bloke's over, we go grab our range pot. Game's out of focus here because I'm changing my tracks. So just yeah, go back through to the other side of the room. There'll be a chest here. This is where you can buy your stamina for the next room, and you can also get some food if you've needed some so far. You can resupply on your food. So I'm going to buy a mushroom potato because they weigh less than sharks and also heal 20 HP and a stamina. So this is where the swift blade, hand joint, or whatever you're using comes in. You're going to want to do melee because 2 people do melee in a 4-man team, so you're going to have someone to support you. So make sure you're potted up. Put ultimate strength on and just start clicking the grey ones. Kill the grey ones that are attacking your teammates first, and then the ones that are attacking the pillars. So me and Barno here are both the melees, so we're going to just keep clicking the grey ones. Your other teammates will deal with the rest of them. The Nilo waves revolve around making sure the pillars don't go down, because if the pillars fall, you're going to take a lot of damage. And most of the Nilos will come in and attack the pillars. The ones that attack your team, there you need to kill straight away. If you want to, you can tag the ones that you're doing. So I've tagged all of the melee Nilos because I normally end up doing melee, so it just makes me easier for me to see them. And if I right click a pile, I can see which name's highlighted nice and easily. If there's no silver ones for you to kill, you can put your trident on, kill a few blue ones, and then just go back to killing the silver ones afterwards. This is where the swift blade is really useful, because although it has no offensive stats, it attacks at 3 ticks instead of 4 ticks, meaning that you can kill them a lot faster because they only have 9 HP each. So there's lots of melees now. You can put the whip on for the bigger ones if you find that you're not hitting 19s because they have a bit more HP. Just keep killing the silver ones. If you attack it with the wrong attack style, you then won't be able to damage it. So if I hit a silver one with my trident, I then wouldn't be able to attack it with melee, so someone else is going to have to deal with that for you. There the aggros come down, kill the aggros first, and then go back to killing them on the pillars. When you go near a pillar, make sure you just click off back to the middle, like I do. Because they can pop. If they've been there for a long time, they will pop and damage you for about 18 damage. And if you're chilling around the pillars at this stage, you can end up getting stacked out for quite a lot of damage. I'd say Stay above 80 HP in this room, because yeah, you really can get stacked out very quickly. Here you can see we're about to lose the top 2 pillars, and this one's looking low as well. So if you're going to lose pillars, just eat up. You'll see that Barney and Zaf don't eat up. Just start eating. Put your protection prayers on for whichever one's attacking you. If your pillars are going down, you've just got to keep eating, really. So Barney and Zaf die because they didn't eat enough. Just keep eating and dealing with the crabs. Once the waves are done, you're going to want to pop back up, make sure your stats are boosted, range and melee. And you're going to start off, it's always going to drop down as a big silver one. The Nilo King, you have to pray what it is and just camp piety. So if it's silver, I pray melee against it. So hit it twice, and then go on my prayers. What's it? Magic. So pray magic on, put my magic gear on, hit it twice, melee, pray melee, rinse and repeat. Really, you can put halberd specs in when you get more confident. I'd keep it really simple for your first one, although here I had to clutch up a little bit because 2 of my teammates died. You can put the defender back on when you're more confident. I would just leave it off for your first KC. Once you've done that, just leave the defender off. You'll automatically stop attacking the boss when it changes, so you don't need to worry about clicking off so you don't attack the wrong phase. If you do attack the wrong phase though, it will rebound the damage onto you and you will kill yourself. So if I whip the blue phase or the green phase, or if I T-bow the silver phase, you're going to kill yourself. So change prayers, change gear, attack. Change prayers, change gear, attack. That's pretty much all there is to this. I'll try and stay above 50 HP. Off prayer he can hit 70 plus. So changing your prayers first, even if you're not doing any damage at all, changing your prayers first is the most important thing. After that you can worry about getting the right attack style on. So this takes a little bit longer than usual because there's only 2 of us. You can also use Blood Blitz if you've brought freezers to retrieve a little bit of health, especially if you're using a trident. I've got a trident here instead of a sang staff, just for the example. If you're using a sang staff, you'll normally heal yourself enough anyway. It's really nice. Once you're done with the boss, just pick up your stuff if you've still dropped anything, and go and get ready for the next room. The next room is Sota Seg. We're going to call 1-3 here, which means we're going to spec on the first phase as soon as we go in, and the third phase. Sota Seg has 3 main mechanics: melee attacks, which you can pray against but can hit you a lot off prayer; the orbs that float round him, which you definitely need to pray against because they will turn off your prayer, stall it, and hit you for up to 50s. Most commonly magic, but can also be ranged. The magic ones are red, the ranged ones are grey. And the big red ball of death, which as long as you split with your teammates really isn't that scary. So you can put in the chat if you've hit your hammer, helps your team know. Play melee when there are no orbs coming towards you, because in Void you have the defense of a wet flip-flop, so you're probably going to get battered if you don't play melee. It's good to look at the person opposite you, so for me that would be Zaf, because orbs will bounce off him like it did there and bounce towards me. If you get chosen for the maze, the important tiles are the first tile, the third tile, and the last tile. Always remember, first tile, third tile, last tile. Wait on the third tile until your team is ready, then just run the maze. Nice and simple. Don't have to do any fancy diagonals. Don't have to go too fast, don't go too slow, and remember to click on the last tile. Then put your players back on and enter the portal. And go back to your spot. If you're learning, just use this spot. They will move because you're learning. Then just keep whipping. When the ball comes out, we're going to go to this middle tile. The area of effect for the ball is those 9 squares, so you can easily see. As long as you split the ball with your team, you won't take that much damage. Put redemption on when running someone else's maze, because it can all go wrong. I'd highly recommend staying above 80 HP for the entirety of this boss. Just click on the red squares as they appear. If you go behind, like I do here, just look at your teammates, look where they're going, and copy exactly what they do. Put Protect from Magic and Piety back on. Hammer Spec. Don't step back onto the maze until it's gone light again, because then it's still active and it will kill you. Let your team know you've missed your hammer because you're in void, and you also have the accuracy of a wet flip-flop. And then just carry on whipping it. I've got another hammer spec here, so I'm going to pop that one in as well. If your team's hit all hammers, you can put a Crystal Halberd spec in there. That's pretty much it. The melee max hit is 45, I believe. So, at the end here, I don't need to play melee. Nice and easy. Now we're going to go and we're going to get these supplies for Verzik. Well, Zarpus and then Verzik. So open the chest. We've got 21 points. You want to get 4 restores, as many brews as you can, at least a 2-dose stamina, and just, yeah, as many brews and food. So get this many brews. If you can get full amount of brews, that's lovely. That's perfect. If you don't have enough points, either get some off your teammate or just take some mushy potatoes or whatever instead. We're going to be grabbing the staff, so it doesn't matter if you've got one space empty. So I'm letting my teammates know I'll get the staff. The next room is Zarpus. Zarpus is a free room. Basically, there won't be any more resupply chests before Verzik, so you're not going to use any supplies here. Go in once your team's ready and just drop 1 brew so you can put your blowpipe on after you've done your hammer specs. Now these little exhumes are going to come up. They're going to throw little orbs out which heals Zarpus, give it more HP. You just stand on those. You can mark them on the floor so that you can see nice and easily when they appear. And yeah, you're just gonna, you and your team are just gonna stand on these and stop them healing Zarpus. The tiles in the middle are for after the Screech. So when we get to this point, we're gonna pop back up, put Piety on. Don't need protection flares in this room. Get ready to hammer spec. Just hammer spec twice, straight off the bat. Run to the back of the room, put your range gear on, start blowpiping the boss. If you click on the shadow, you won't misclick, because otherwise you can click through the wings. Every time Zarpus looks at you, like now, you're just going to move 2 squares, carry on blowpiping Zarpus. And that's pretty much all there is to this phase. A blowpipe with rune darts and rigor is exactly as much damage as Barney is doing there, doing the Blade of Seldor walk with Piety on. Just move 2 squares, carry on attacking. When you get to about 28%, Zarpus is going to say Screech above its head. This is when we put our melee gear back on and we go and stand on those tiles that I've marked on the inside. You're going to want to mark those first. Move 2 squares and carry on blowpiping. Try and avoid the little poison splats, as they will poison you, but it's not a big deal. Just don't stand on them. So put melee gear back on, and attack Zarpus when it's not looking at you. So you should get 2 attacks in, and then run to where he's facing, because he can't face the same way again. So if you run to where he's facing, then you're going to be fine. Otherwise, just wait to see where he turns, attack twice, put your chalice back in. Unlike Niloking, this won't stop you attacking if he looks at you, so you do need to click on the floor to stop yourself attacking, or click to the next square. That's the post-screech done. Just go pick up your brew and get ready to go into Verzik. We're going to drink our last sip of Super Combat for P1 and grab the staff, because you are the Pat Jack. So, Zarpus is done. We've got the staff. Congratulations, you've made it to Verzik. We're going to drop 2 brews and 2 restores. If you're an Iron Man, this doesn't really matter, because obviously they can't pick it up, but if your teammates are normies, then that's really helpful, because they can use your supplies once you kill yourself with P2. So we're going to drop the staff for the first person in the orb order, which is Fly Hard, and we're going to put Protect Magic on. Once you put Protect Magic on, just start spamming the boss. Don't have to worry about talking to her, you're not starting the fight. Once Graham goes through the dialogue, you'll start attacking. You can get 4 hits in here, and then we run back behind the pillar. Now we're going to wait until she opens her legs there, and then click on her when her legs are fully open. Nice one, Jagex. 2 hits, run back behind the pillar. Now we're going to pick up the staff, because we're 4th in the orb order. Put the staff on. Spec at least once. You can get 3 hits in here, but you don't have to. As long as you get 1 spec in, that's fine. Drop the staff for someone else and attack her with the whip. If you only get 1 hit in here, that's fine as well. You do have time for 2. Wait until their legs open, go back and hit her again. So now it's Barno going to Zaf. So after Zaf, we're going to get the staff next. I like to right click and walk here the square, because if people drop the staff and pick it up, then it stops being an item, and therefore you just stop running because someone else has picked the staff up. That's P1 over, because she's come off the threat. When P2 begins, you're going to want to go to the square by where you dropped brews. You're going to want to mark these before you can start. At the start of P2, you want play range on, and I'll just start walking around in a square. The crabs will come out really soon. Just panic and run away from these, because they will pop and hurt you like that. The purple crab, if it comes out, just ignore it. Your teammate will deal with it. Now when you want to start doing damage, as soon as a cape goes under, you want to click on and click back in the diagonal square. Click on and click back. This way you don't catch the range orbs, but you also manage to do as much damage. Don't try and do what Zaf is doing until you've got a bit more experience, because you will kill yourself. If you need to eat because you've popped a crab near you, or the little lightning balls chip you down a bit, I'd recommend staying over 90 HP for the entirety of this. Panic and run away from all the crabs, because they're very dangerous. But if you need to eat, I would just walk around in a square and eat your brews and restore back up. Combat pot and go back to doing this crisscross method. As soon as the cape goes under, attack. Play range through the entire thing. When the red crumbs come out, we need to play magic. That's very important. And you just whip the red crab until it's at about 10-20%. Then you can go back to doing the crisscross method. She can still throw out range attacks during this phase, which is why we're doing the crisscross method, even though most of the time she'll be throwing out magic attacks, which are these little red ones. Right there, that's a magic attack. They hit 40s if you don't have your prayer on. Whip the red crabs down again. This will happen at about 35%, so you know when red crabs are going to be coming. Skirt goes under, attack, back to the crisscross. Leave your food on the ground if your teammates are normies, because then if you die doing this, they can pick it up. It makes it more likely you're going to finish the raid. That, and you have plenty of brews. You can always pop a Charlie speck on a crab as well. It goes under, attack, step back. And that's how simple P2 is. After P2 I'd pick one of each of your food up, but leave one on the ground, because there's still a good chance you're going to die here. So when she surrounds herself with blue, like that, play magic, and when she doesn't, play range. If you're selected to tank, just stand underneath her until she switches tank, like you would do at Bandos. Stand underneath her for a few hits. When these crabs come out, run away from them as well. Panic and run away is generally a good thing to do. And blue. Make sure you got your prayers correct. Now, after crabs is going to come webs. So when she walks to the middle, get out of the way and just start walking around the outside of the room. You can turn your prayer off, you can heal back up while this is happening. Your teammates are most likely going to run webs because they know what they're doing. But if you try and do this, you're going to web all your teammates, you're going to kill all of them, you're going to kill you as well. So don't do that. You can pop a trident here, or if you've got a T-bow, T-bow's pretty good here. Pop it on, do a few shots while you're walking around the outside. But I wouldn't worry too much about that. Just heal back up. So that's a range attack. After this will come the yellow pools. It always goes crabs, webs, yellow pools, big ball. So you just need to pick one and stand on it. Once you've picked one, make up your mind, stick to that one. Don't change, because if you change, so will your teammate, you'll both be in, well, if you're from the UK like we are, you'll both try and be really courteous to each other and end up killing each other. At 20%, you want to dump your special attacks, whilst running away from your purple tornado. You can only get caught by your own purple tornado. That big ball there that hit Zaf for 74 is the next attack after the yellow orbs. So camp above 74 HP at all times during this phase. Now once you've done that, pop into the throne room, see if you've bagged yourself a juicy purple. Never lucky. And that's how it's done. Thanks for watching. I hope this has been helpful. There may have been a couple bits I've missed out, but if there are, I'm sure your team will help fill you in on what you're doing. So, good luck!